Hi, welcome back to our channel.
Yeah,
We are the Glasgows. I'm Dwayne.
Taina.
For those of you who have viewed our channel here for the first time, we mostly talk about what it's like raising children with autism and ADHD, but we also have fun from time to time. This video, though, is going to be a little bit of a touchy subject. We're going to mostly talk about relating to family and friends when they encounter your child with autism, and sometimes what they might do is helpful and sometimes it's hurtful. We're going to try our best not to name names when we talk about our friends and family, but if you watch the video and you feel like we're talking about you, we're sorry, but it's what happened and the experience might help somebody else.
So,
I think we should probably start with at the beginning of the autism journey, from when they're babies. Our first indication that one of our kids had autism was with our son, Delson. He was maybe 2 months old when I realized he was in his little rocking chair. And he would sit there and just keep playing with his hands.
All day
long. And it's one of those first instances where you as a parent are looking to find out what's going on.
Right.
So I asked friends and family, has your child done this? And quite a few people said no, but a couple of people said, oh yes, that's normal. Mm-hmm. It wasn't.
It was not normal.
What I looked up online, because Google exists and sometimes you Google things, sometimes Google helps, sometimes Google doesn't help. And it told me either he had too much energy or he had autism. So trying to be, I guess you could say, optimistic, I put it more towards he had too much energy. So we increased tummy time, we increased play time, and we tried to see if that would help.
Still did all day long.
All day long. Whether he was playing or not, he's just... And come to find out, that's called stemming, or self-stimulating.
Yep.
And even at 2 months old, that's what he was doing. Whether he was happy, sad, playing, not, he's...
All that. All day.
So that was one of the first instances. And then as time went on...
Well, remember, he skipped the crawling phase.
He did skip the crawling phase.
We found out later the reason he skipped the crawling phase is because he did not like the feeling of the carpet. We didn't know. Every time we put him on his tummy, he started crying. When it came to, pull himself up, he did that right away. So he's kind of skipped tummy time and went straight into pulling himself up and walking around the living room. He would not let his knees and hands touch the carpet.
With our daughter, we didn't really pick up anything until she started walking, and then her playing with toys meant her getting a group of toys and putting them in piles.
Or lining them up.
Yeah. And again, we would ask friends and family, did your child do this? And they'd all say, oh yeah, that's normal. It's not. A lot of kids make piles and play sometimes, but when it's a continuous, repetitious activity like that, it's something you need to discuss with your pediatrician.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of things like that going on. And my advice, I don't know if it's Taina's advice, but my advice, when you have these concerns, don't take it to friends and family first. Take it to a doctor. Because they're going to know, and friends and family are just going to equate it to their kids or their friends' kids. And they're going to try to ease your worries when you need to take it to a pediatrician.
Yeah, because we were never one of those parents who were afraid to get a diagnosis. And no offense to anyone, it's just that something was wrong. So we let everything happen, because we were told it's normal. Well, what wasn't normal was when my son decided he was gonna scream his head off all day long and run straight into walls.
Yeah.
We were like, that's not normal. We didn't need to ask anybody because that is not a normal behavior. I mean, he would run full speed into walls. So we would have to watch him just so he wouldn't hurt himself.
And that we did take to the pediatrician right away because running into walls full speed and if his sister was in the way, he'd knock her down. Those aren't things that
Or
you could
no,
just
yeah.
let go.
No.
They also had a little bit of social delays and concerns where they didn't really want to play with kids their own age.
No.
They were overly shy. And taking that to family and friends, again, they would say that, oh, it's normal, oh, it's nothing to worry about. One family member said it's because we didn't have them in daycare. If we put them in daycare, that would help them with their social behaviors. And I understand that's based off of how you raised your kid, but not everyone can just wash away a concern based on what happened with this kid.
Right.
Every child is different, and if you're concerned about your child, it's better to take it to a professional.
And the other thing that we noticed, yes, both of our kids have autism and ADHD, but they're opposite, meaning
don't
they're on different spectrums. So with Delson, when he was younger, he was very standoffish, whether it was family or not. That was Asia back there. Whether it was family or not, he was very standoffish. He did not want anybody to touch him, and it was hard because we were trying to tell families, like, look, it's not that he doesn't like you, and it's not like that he doesn't want to be with you. Well, he doesn't know you, number one, and number two, he's very standoffish. Unless it's me or his dad, he didn't want anyone touching him. Even taking him to the pediatrician was a challenge because, he didn't want anyone touching him.
Strangely, you would let my dad hold him. That was
yeah.
his mom, his dad, or his grandpa. That was
it.
No
but
one else could.
No one else could touch him, and we had to reassure families, like, look, just give him time. When you come in the door, he is overwhelmed, and that's the other thing with autistic kids. They get overwhelmed
and quickly.
Just imagine when you have a family gathering. Everyone is excited to see each other. Everyone is saying hi. Everyone is talking. To an autistic kid, the noise level, the amount of people, that is very overwhelming to them, and they can't handle it.
The smells, the lights,
everything.
It all affects their senses.
A lot of people, didn't understand. I mean, we try to explain it. Hey, it's not you. It's the kid. The kid, he was standoffish. Asia was more of the social butterfly. Would you say?
Yeah.
She'll come up to people. Even now, she'll come up to people, hug people and stuff. But Delson, he is still standoffish. We kind of have to tell him, hey, you can say hi. It's okay. But you would notice the difference between Delson and Asia, whereas Asia will come right up to you and hug you, and Delson would be like, hi, I'm Delson. Hi, how you doing? And then he's done. So, it's nothing against friends and family. It's just every kid that is on the spectrum is different. Hey.
And they all, well, not all, but a lot of kids on the spectrum do a thing called masking, which is when they've gone through some of the therapies, they've gone to school or daycare, well, special needs daycare, because you can't just send them to any daycare.
No.
And they've learned what's expected of them to act in social situations. So they'll do what's called masking, which is they'll pretend that they're doing what you're supposed to be doing, when all they're doing is holding back their feelings and emotions. So they'll mask all day long. Our kids will mask until they get comfortable with someone, and then they'll drop that mask.
Yeah.
Which is something a lot of kids on the spectrum will do. Also, they mask at school, so a lot of their friends and teachers don't see it, but when they come home, and that's a big thing, they will mask until they get home, and then all that stuff they saved up will come out.
Unleashed.
Whether that's jumping around or having a meltdown, it's going to come out.
Because I remember when they went to pre-K, the pre-K had them on the school bus, the special school bus, and would pick them up from school and bring them back home right in front of our driveway. So when they would come home, soon as Delson's foot came off that bus, it was unleashed. I mean, we didn't even get into the house yet. We were still at the end of the driveway, and
You would find a reason to have a meltdown.
A meltdown.
Or Asia would just jump around the house because she saved up all her energy. She would jump around the house and touch everything and play with everything.
I mean, getting them diagnosed early helped a lot because they were delayed, and um, they put them in what was that company called?
Early steps.
Early steps. So they started early steps at 3 years old, and no, at two. Was it two?
No.
2.
Two. It was two.
Oh.
However, they were able to attend the pre-K program at the elementary school at 3. So the moment they turned 3, it wasn't like you had to wait for a certain date. No, the day they turned 3, they started pre-K.
Yeah, I think their first day of school was their actual 3rd birthday.
Yeah, it was on their 3rd birthday, but we let them skip that day because it was their birthday. So they went the following day, and I remember Delson. He cried his eyes out, but the teachers were awesome. They eased my anxiety because they have this program called Remind, and they communicate back and forth with us, and they would send us pictures. It's like Delson is just fine. It was just he was leaving us for the first time, so he cried his eyes out, but he was fine, and he thrived. The kid is he's on the 6th grade reading level now, probably a 4th or 5th grade math level.
Asia too.
Asia too. So
they're both super smart.
The program helped. It helped them. So it helped them progress, and by the time it was time for them to get to kindergarten, they were just fine. I was concerned that they were not in a special program and going to the general population, but they thrived. And I mean, it's the help of early steps. Mandy, you are awesome, by the way, and Mandy, and we miss you. Mandy was the one that would come to the house during the early steps program and work with them. And to us, the regular people, I guess, it looks like games, but to them, they were learning, and it helped tremendously.
And the therapies aren't just for the kids; it's also for you.
Yeah.
They show you the techniques they're using to help certain behaviors, and they show you what to do to teach your child and have you learn what to do to help. And that's basically the point of this video. Through all the years and the therapies, we've learned what to do to help our kids. When you're friends and family and you come into that situation, you have to understand you don't know what to do with this stuff. And we understand you want to help.
Just
and
ask.
The parents and guardians of the kids understand you want to help. But instead of just jumping in and helping, you have to ask. Ask, what can I do to help? Do you need my help? Do you need me to move something away? A lot of times we're just going to say, no, we're fine. It may look like complete chaos to you, but sometimes we're fine. It's our normal.
It is.
Like the other day, we took our kids to a pool party for a friend of theirs' birthday. And, Asia, that's really loud. Thank you. We took the kids to a pool party for one of their friends' birthdays, and we encountered a trigger I didn't even know would be a trigger. It started to rain, and the rain somehow triggered Delson, and he had a meltdown because it was raining.
It was raining.
And
Even though when we explained to him, you're going in the pool, you're going to get wet, he did not understand that the rain, is the same thing as getting wet. To him, it's different.
I think it was the sensation of the water falling on him he was not a fan of. And it triggered a meltdown to where I had to take him to the car and let him calm down a while before I took him back inside to let him rejoin the party. Those are going to happen.
Yeah.
And you will notice that when you invite friends and family that are caretakers of an autistic child, there's going to be a lot of times where they say, no, I can't make it.
Yeah.
It's nothing against you. It's about, maybe it's something in the environment that we're anticipating as a trigger.
Yep.
Maybe it's the noise level that we're anticipating might be a trigger. It's our job as their caregivers, parents and guardians. It's our job to pick out triggers and go, am I in the mood for this meltdown today? Probably not.
No,
Is that going to be a major trigger? It is. You shouldn't go.
we shouldn't go.
We do pick and choose.
We do.
And we also do pick and choose because you will notice sometimes we leave early. We notice when it's time to go.
Yeah.
We're not going to stay until they're overly tired or overly sensitized
Because
and
by then
melting
it's
down.
too late.
Yeah, no one enjoys having to pick up your child in a full meltdown while they're kicking and screaming and taking them out to the car.
Yeah.
Because over time we do learn to ignore people looking at you, but it's still embarrassing.
Yeah.
So we anticipate it. We know we're going to have to do it from time to time, but it's still embarrassing, and we do ignore people looking at us. But it's still a thing, and no one wants to do it.
No.
So if you can get to that point where, okay, we've been here this long, I'm starting to notice some behaviors, okay, we should go.
We should go.
Usually for us, it's after the birthday cake. For some reason, I guess it's the sugar in the cake, they get a little bit hyper, they get a little excited. Or with Delson, he knows, oh, we had cake, party's ending,
Yeah.
it's time for my electronics, why aren't we leaving yet? So we know usually after cake it's time to go. Sometimes we could stay for presents opening, sometimes not so much, and it's just time to go.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to insult anyone, and no one that's a guardian of an autistic child is doing things to insult you, but we've got to take care of our kids. Just like Mandy used to tell us, we're their biggest advocate,
Yeah.
and that's our job, is we have to understand at some point this is going to be a trigger. We have to go at this point,
Yeah.
and we will do that.
Yeah. Because I mean, there are times, you know, we don't even wait for cake, or we don't even wait for a certain time.
Yeah.
We'll go in. We'll be like, okay, we're gonna stay about an hour. Yeah. Okay. After about an hour,
I think one point we lasted maybe 15 minutes and
Yeah.
had to be out.
and we were out. You know, we have to go by them. We don't want to inconvenience someone else because of our child. You know, I know a lot of people say it's okay, it's okay. No, it's not okay, because we don't want the meltdown to continue. So we have to leave so we can mitigate it, help them calm down, and then continue on with our day. We don't want a meltdown to last. So a lot of people don't know. So their meltdowns are way different. So Delson will have daily meltdowns, sometimes the whole day, like on and off all day. And he'll that's his meltdown. Something triggers him every single time. On the other hand, Asia, you know, she can go a month with no meltdown. But that one day she has that meltdown, it can last up to 3 hours. Who wants to wrangle a child for 3 hours? You know, we'll let her know. It's like, you've been doing this for 3 hours. Are you not tired? And no, she is not tired. You know,
Yeah.
she keeps going. And no matter what you do, you can hug, you can kiss, you can try to, you know, lay down with them. Well, no matter what you do, it does not help. You know, you just have to let it run its course. So we sit there, let her cry out for 3 hours, 4 hours plus, and when she's done, she'll come out around and apologize for whatever she did to start, you know, meltdown, and go on about her business. But she'll go on long periods with nothing. But him, he's more of a daily meltdowner. What's my word?
And you might be saying, as friends and family, well, what can I do to help? That's it. Ask questions. Don't just start doing things. Go to that caregiver and say, what can I do to help?
Sometimes the answer is going to be nothing.
Yeah.
Why? Because we do this daily. So we're used to not having a third help. So we don't even know what to tell you to help with, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when it comes to, you know, family and friends, you know, if you see them having a meltdown and, you know, we're carrying bags, groceries, help with those.
Yeah. Grab the bag.
Grab the bags.
We got the kid.
We got the kids, yeah.
Or one big thing, and I think it's pretty much universal through the autistic community with your kids, is their eating habits. They don't have the same eating habits as your kid.
No.
They might only eat one type of food. They might only eat certain foods. They might only eat the foods that they're used to. So eating is always going to be a struggle.
Yeah.
You got to pick your battles, but sometimes you have to be firm. if you're that friend and family and you're not used to this, don't show up and just offer options, because you're changing the routine and you're getting rid of that whole staying firm on you have to eat this.
Right.
Because we're trying to teach that child you have to eat this food, and you showing up with an option completely washes that away.
Yeah.
And if you see somebody with their autistic child and they seem to be being firm on something, don't, how can I say this? Don't try to push it off as, oh, your parents just being strict because of this and that. What you're teaching that child is that, oh, it's just that parent. The rest of the world isn't like that. That is really tough on an autistic child, because now they're thinking, oh, it's my parent, maybe they don't like me. Or it's my parent, they're just being really mean. You can't bring in options into that environment. You have to understand that we do things a certain way, and through trial and error, we figured out what's the right way and the wrong way to handle that child in that situation. You bring in options can cause what's called a regression.
Yep.
And completely change that behavior. You get to go home, but now we're stuck with the regression.
Because so in the beginning, we could not get them to eat anything other than
Dinosaur chicken.
dinosaur chicken.
Those chicken nuggets shaped like dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. That was it. That was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, we would have family members that would come over, try to offer something else, and they wouldn't eat it. And they're like, I thought they would eat it. No, that we don't. We were not gonna fight them. The fact that they ate 3 meals a day was enough for us.
And if you see somebody with an autistic child and it seems like all they're doing is giving their child potato chips, they're giving their child potato chips.
They're eating.
One, it's not really your business, and two, that's what they're eating. If that's all there was at that party or that gathering that the kid's gonna eat, that's what they're eating.
That's all they're gonna eat.
They can get something else later.
Yeah.
If you're concerned, well, all they eat is the dinosaur chicken. They're eating.
They're eating.
That is the goal.
It was dinosaur chicken, and was it milk?
Asia was milk. Delson was strawberry milk.
Strawberry milk, yeah.
Asia was, she flip flops. At one point, it was always had to be fruit punch Gatorade.
Yeah.
Or red Gatorade.
It
or
had
red
to be.
juice.
It
She
had
called
to
it red
be.
juice.
Yeah, a specific. It was very specific, and the moment she tasted, let's say if we added something to it, like some parents do, she won't drink it. She will taste it.
If you switch from Gatorade to Powerade, she would know. So.
Because I remember, I'm not sure a lot of people know. Hey, we're talking. I don't know if a lot of people know, but Asia, suffers from seizures. She had her first one at 6 months? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
So about 6 months. So trying to get her seizure medicine in her juice was very complicated. They can taste that. They are very sensitive. I know a lot of people are like, oh, just put more juice in it. She can taste it. We had to convince her that if she ate it, we would do something for her. I don't remember what it was, but we had to convince the child.
Even now, if I cook something differently than I usually cook it, she knows.
If we change the brand, like when you make the sausages, the Italian sausage, if he changes the brand, she's not gonna eat it.
Changing brands of hot dogs.
It's not that she sees the packaging. No, she doesn't see. It's the taste.
Changing brands of hot dogs will lead to her not wanting to eat a hot dog.
Like ever.
Yeah.
So with autistic kids, it's the extreme. If they taste one thing that's bad, or if they're given something that they don't like, they'll never eat it ever. We have to convince them to put it back into their diet. I mean, and when I say convince, sometimes we have to bribe our children. We bribe them.
Yep. I don't mean to promote McDonald's, but she'll eat McDonald's, but Burger King, no. So she knows the difference.
She knows the difference. She won't eat Wendy's either.
Yeah, she doesn't really like Wendy's.
So in order for them to continue, because what we started doing is we told them, you're gonna eat what we cook. You're gonna at least try something one time. If you don't like it, okay, we won't give it to you again. But if you like it,
That's been an adventure because usually it means letting them sit at the table, have their meltdown while they sit there with their food
Yeah.
because you can't get up until you finish
You
eating.
can't get up until you finish eating, and they'll have their meltdown in the chair. I mean, sometimes it lasts an hour. You have to reheat the food like 2 or 3 times because
Now it's cold and they don't want it
they don't
cold.
want to eat it cold.
Now it's too hot.
It's too hot. Everything they can come up with, they'll come up with. But we'll let them know because um, they have McDonald's days once a week
And pizza day.
and pizza day once a week. Now, if you give us problems with eating normal foods during the week, that goes away. So we brought our children in order for them to eat something else. Well, yes, we are those parents.
We do.
I mean,
I'm
whatever.
not ashamed of it.
I am not ashamed.
And I'll do it again.
And if my kid will eat, I will. So, and my son was the pickiest eater. He would not eat a lot of things. I mean, dinosaur chicken was about it for a couple of years. Hey, buddy, you want to say hi?
Hi.
You gotta get in the camera.
Yes,
There you
hi.
are. All right.
Hey
guys!
I keep on popping up.
You wanna go finish what you're doing? No, you wanna
stay
sit here? All
Is
right.
it because we're talking about you?
Come here. You're gonna sit on my lap. Asia, you're in front of the camera.
You can't block the camera, Asia.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, for a long time, he would only eat chicken, the dinosaur chickens. We tried those chicken fries.
Those lasted for a little bit.
A little bit. Then Asia went through a phase of
Pizza rolls.
pizza rolls, and that was the only thing she would eat for a long time. So we decided, okay, we're gonna stock up on that. And of course, the moment we stocked up on it, she wouldn't eat it anymore.
Appetite shift.
Yeah, appetite shifted. Don't do that, you're gonna fall.
Flavor shift.
Yeah.
So if you see a family with kids on the spectrum and they seem to be eating the same thing over and over, that's fine. Let
Yeah,
them.
let them eat it.
That's what they do.
I mean, if they're gonna eat, they're gonna eat.
If you want to offer, you ask the parent. You don't just offer the child because you don't know if you're causing a regression. You don't know if you're changing a behavior. Talk to the parent and don't do it in front of the child.
Yeah.
Ask to talk to the parent over to the side somewhere. So that way we can whisper to you, no, let's not do this.
Yeah. Because, a lot of people, and I know you guys mean well, but we have to deal with the consequences later. And like we said, yes, go ahead.
Let's go.
Like I said, we have to deal with the consequences later, and we pick our battles, and that is not a battle. We don't want someone to pick the battles for us, and just ask us. We're very open and upfront about it. We want to help the next family, the next person who's concerned about their child. I mean, not every concern is going to be an autistic child. You need help with that?
And when you see a family with a kid on the spectrum having a meltdown, the best thing for you to do is stand off to the side. Wait for them to ask you for assistance. Don't just jump in. You don't know if you're going to do something to hurt the child. You don't know if you're going to introduce a behavior.
Or some people don't understand how strong these kids are. They're going to hurt you.
Yeah.
If you're not used to it, they're going to hurt you, and they won't even know that they're hurting you.
You don't know when that head's going to pop up.
Yeah.
By accident.
The head, the leg, the arm, the elbow, everything happens when they're having and they completely shut down. They don't even know you're there. So.
Okay, so fears and phobias. You also have to be careful when you're just friends and family and you're not a caregiver. There's things you might do that you mean well, but you may create a fear and a phobia in that child on the spectrum because it's just that easy for them.
Yeah.
It took a really long time for our kids to learn to swim, and it's nothing we did or anyone else did. It's just they got into a pool, they couldn't swim, so they freaked out, and it took a really long time for them to learn to swim.
And even now, I tell people all the time, whenever Delson is in the pool, he doesn't like his head getting wet. Even in the shower, the rain, as we told you earlier, he will swim with his head held high because he doesn't want the splashing on his face at all. You know, but as long as he likes the water now, he tries to jump in, but he'll jump in the shallow end, and since he's so tall, water stops here. He's fine. He won't. He's not gonna be a daredevil as long as that water does not touch his head and face. He'll swim.
And they still have floaties on, and they're going to keep those on as long as they want to.
As long as they want to.
It doesn't matter if someone else looks and says, "Oh, they should take those off." When they feel confident enough,
Yeah.
that's when they take them off.
When they're, when I don't care how old they are, if they want their floaties on, they're gonna keep it on. I don't want my child freaking out in the water.
Yeah. And for parents with kids on the spectrum, I mean it when I say it that you have to be okay with offending others, because people are going to offer things. You have to be okay with saying no, even if it offends them. People are going to say, "Can I take your kid here?" You have to be okay with saying no, even if it offends them. It's going to be a part of this. You have to get used to it, and you're going to have to do it. You're the number one advocate for your kid. If something's happened and you know it's going to be a trigger, be okay with saying no.
Yeah, we also, we don't send our kids, out with anyone.
Yeah.
We can't, because the unknown. We don't know what's gonna happen. What if we're far away? Not everyone can handle our kids. That was the main reason we never went to daycare with our kids.
Yeah.
We decided early on that Dwayne's job at the time was only gonna pay for kid daycare. His check was gonna go straight to daycare, and I told him, I said, "Look, how about you quit your job? I have all the benefits and everything. You stay home with the kids. That way, we don't have to have someone else watch our kid, and we can watch our kid."
Yeah. My career path is pretty much just social media and film and television production. I can do that from home watching my kids. Not everyone has that ability, which makes it even more important that you're firm
Yes.
with letting people know that my kid can't do this and my kid can do that, and set your limits. If it offends people, be okay with offending people. Especially, we come from a Caribbean family, and there's a lot of things that culturally they want to do, and it just doesn't fit us. We can't do that right now.
We can't.
Maybe when they're older, maybe.
Maybe. And even we've caught in contact with a couple, people that are on the spectrum and they're older. That it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that
They'll
they'll just grow
it.
out of it. Unfortunately, not.
It's not something you grow out of.
Yeah, it's not something they grow out of. It's gonna be there with them for the rest of their life. But the difference is learning to cope with it. Even as an adult, when you feel as something is wrong, or you feel like you're about to have a meltdown, or something in the room is. No, you cannot have that. You
just had a snack.
You can-
Dinner's gonna be soon.
Yeah. You know what time dinner's in an hour. You're fine. Come here. Come here. You're fine. Come on. You're fine. All right? I lost my train of thought again.
Me too.
You're fine.
You're fine, Dose.
Hey, dinner's in and out. Remember, a snack is not supposed to fill your stomach up, right?
But it's not going to fill me up.
Yes, we know. That's
we
the
know
point.
that was the point.
You're
So
still gonna get your dinner in
You got
about
your
an
dinner,
hour.
okay? Dinner's it's 6:30, right?
But all yours are small.
No, you just had the bouncers.
You just had bouncers.
You don't need something else that's sweet. Okay?
So,
How about you have some water?
Okay, well, you're not gonna fill your stomach
You're
right
not
now.
gonna fill your stomach, okay? What about dinner? You don't want dinner? You don't want to eat dinner?
it's not like it's going to fill me up.
Dawson.
We'll make sure that dinner fills you up. Okay?
Because I'm pretty sure after dinner you're gonna want dessert, right?
So, what should you do?
Cheetos.
No,
You don't need anything
you don't
else
need it right now.
You're fine.
You just had a big. That was a pretty big snack. You don't need another one. How about you go finish what
The
you were doing?
bouncers are small.
Okay, play your game.
Play your game.
When we're done with the video, I'm going to make dinner.
All right. Love you.
What are we having for dinner?
We're going to have something, I don't know what you guys are having. Okay? Be
You
careful.
remember you have your macaroni bites, right? Yeah, I mean, basically, the video is to help people understand we are in no way trying to be rude, disrespectful, or anything. When we do stuff, it's because we're used to it. We go straight into that mode, you know. Kind of like whenever they have their meltdown, they kind of shut out the world and they go straight into their meltdown. Same thing with us. When that happens, we kind of shut the world out and we go into the mode of, okay, we need to calm them down. We need to do everything we can, or we need to take them out of the situation. There are times, you know, there was for the longest time, we banned Asia. She could not go to Walmart
Or Target.
or Target or Kohl's.
Because every time was a meltdown.
Every
Because
time
we
was a
wouldn't get
melt.
her what she wanted.
It triggered her. It triggered her. Like there was one day where, you know, Dwayne had to carry her, kicking and screaming from the back of the store, all the way at the back of the store. And I can hear her screaming, "Let me go! Let me go!" Now, just imagine. You know, you hear a lot of these stories of people, you know, kids getting abducted. Now you hear a child talking about "let me go," while a large black man is carrying her through the store.
And if you're a parent that's just starting this journey, yes, you are going to have that thought, oh, someone's going to call the police.
Let them.
Somehow, I think I've only heard of one story where someone actually had the cops called. It doesn't really happen that often, but
No.
even if they do, let them.
Let them. I mean,
It's your child, and a lot of the police departments nowadays have training on what to do in situations with autistic kids, so they're going to understand.
and also we have autistic stickers on our vehicle. Their seatbelt has the autism. You know, it even says on there, "I may not respond to paramedics or cops or anything." Because
I do recommend you get those.
yeah, because they don't.
You're going to be in a situation where they have a meltdown in public, and you can't control how other people respond.
Right, but you
But
control
You control how you handling that situation.
that situation.
And if you're a friend or family and you're out in public with them and you see the meltdown, if they're shopping, help them with the shopping part, not with the meltdown part, unless they ask you.
Right.
If they ask you, can you grab him? Okay. But if no one's asking, then you just continue on with
Continue
whatever
on,
part you
or
can help.
yeah. So like he said, if we're shopping, hey, can I finish the shopping for you?
Yeah.
Hey, can I, you know, take that to the front for you?
Can I take this to the front, and
I'll-
even if you want to say, give me your card, I'll pay for you.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine.
But don't help with the kid part unless you're asked.
Especially with them being so sensitive to other people, even if you are family or a friend that, you know, comes over often, when they're having the meltdown, they do not see that because they don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you are family or a well-known friend, you don't live in the household.
Actually, you should take it as a compliment that they're having a meltdown in front of you. That means they're comfortable
They're
enough
comfortable.
with you to drop that mask.
Yeah.
If you interfere, you might lose that comfort factor.
Right.
So the fact that they drop their masking for you is a compliment that they're comfortable with you. Keep them comfortable with you. Yeah, so if you're a friend or family and you want to be helpful, ask questions and just be a bystander. Don't take charge. Don't have wisdom based on your child. Just listen. The best thing you can do to help is listen.
Yeah. Because there are things that, you know, children are going to be children no matter if they're autistic or not. Our kids are still, you know, they're at the age where they will try to manipulate, you know, especially when it comes to, you know, family. They'll have that extra meltdown because they know that a family member is going to come and sit next to them and
Give them what they want.
give them what they want. Then, when said, all family members leave or when they're gone, he'll come to us or she'll come to us and say, well, so and so let me do it. Now we have to deal with that. So it's not anything against anyone. It's just that we are trying to teach our kids to live an autistic life as normal as possible, and we don't need the extra interference.
Yeah. Think not hurtful.
I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you guys for listening. If you have,
If we've hurt your feelings,
we're sorry.
Sorry?
We didn't mean to.
But if you feel like we were talking about you, then that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Sorry.
But also, if you guys have questions, let us know.
Yeah.
Just
Come into the comments.
come into the comments,
If
or
you're on our other social media, send a message.
send a message, or if you know us personally, you have our numbers. Just ask. We are not hiding the fact that our kids are autistic. We're not hiding any of it. We are an open book. And our kids know. They know they're autistic. They know they have ADHD. They even try to tell us that some of the stuff they do is because they're autistic, and we no.
Yep, they're learning.
They're learning.
And they're trying to use it as a weapon.
They are.
They have weaponized autism.
They have. So please don't feel offended. Just send us a message.
Or maybe you should feel offended.
Stop.
For that noise.
You want to come and say bye?
Bye.
Oh, here's Elson.
You want to say the like and subscribe part?
Like and
subscribe.
Say it again.
Like and subscribe.
You heard him. Bye, guys.
Do it.
Do what?
Like and subscribe.